If the outrage over Amazon's new headquarters teaches us one thing, it's that yes, Americans can come together. Between far-left activists and far-right conservatives, we should all be screaming mad about the state of corporate handouts in this country. In November, Amazon announced that it would be splitting its second corporate headquarters between Crystal City, a suburban neighborhood near Washington, D.C., and Long Island City in Queens, New York. As a gift to the company, the states of Virginia and New York are handing out $3 billion in subsidies. That means stuff like property tax breaks and free money for each new job created. And that $3 billion is just the tip of the iceberg. Each year, American cities and states spend up to $90 billion in free handouts to companies like Nike, Boeing, and Ford. That's more than the federal government spends on education or infrastructure. There are three big problems with this. One, these giveaways are often redundant. Companies first decide where they want to go, and then they get their dream city or their hometown to pay them to do that which they were going to do anyway. For example, Amazon is a retail media and advertising company. It doesn't need cash gifts to expand its footprint in New York City, the nation's capital of retail media and advertising. Second, companies don't always hold up their end of the deal. Several years ago, Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker lured the Taiwanese manufacturing company Foxconn with a $4 billion subsidy to build a factory. But now Foxconn's like, maybe we're gonna build a much smaller factory, and instead of hiring a bunch of people, actually most of the manufacturing work is gonna be done by robots. Scott Walker, you got played. Third, it's ludicrous for Americans to spend tens of billions of dollars not to create new jobs, but just to shuffle around jobs that are gonna be created anyway. Consider the so-called border war that Missouri and Kansas have been fighting over jobs located in the Kansas City metro area. First, Kansas lured AMC Entertainment with tens of millions of dollars for subsidies. Then Missouri took Applebee's headquarters. Back and forth they went until both states had spent $500 million creating 0 net new jobs, but changing the commutes of 10,000 people living in the Kansas City metro area. This is, of course, really absurd. But mayors and governors feel like they have to do this sort of thing to win elections, and corporations are, of course, happy to accept the free money. So, how do we fix it? First, Congress could pass a national law trying to ban this sort of corporate bribery. Second, Congress could make the subsidies less valuable by threatening to tax corporate subsidies at 100% as a special kind of income. Finally, the federal government could actively discourage the corporate culture of subsidies by yelling and screaming and penny pinching and generally demonizing anybody who engages in this behavior. In the end, this should be a unifying issue. The left loves to criticize corporations for being heartless, money-grubbing organizations that love to exploit labor for profit. And the right loves to criticize the left for demanding free money for whatever new pet project they're obsessed with today. But whether you're a far-left critic of corporations or a far-right critic of welfare, surely you can agree that welfare for corporations is just plain stupid.